Hello guys, and welcome to another coding video. Today, we're going to be taking a look at something called Java exceptions. Um, so Java exceptions basically catch errors in your code and avert them so that they won't crash your code. This is extremely important to add because it will give you some more structure in your code when you're doing any sort of project. The most basic example would be you doing a number guessing game in Java, and the user enters a string or accidentally enters something else, or maybe a float or some other data type that's not an int. Well, of course, if you don't have an exception, your code will immediately crash and say value error. Int, float can't be converted to int, or string can't be converted into int, something like that. But if you have an exception, then you can customize it so that it just prints an error message such as please enter an integer, and then it will continue with the code. So this is extremely important when you're doing any sort of interactive project. So Java exceptions are used with the try and catch keywords. The try keyword allows you to run a block of code, and the catch keyword only is run when an error happens in try. So let's really quickly demonstrate this. Okay, and then we can try something. So for example, we can do int. So we'll just create a standard array, my ints, and then we'll just do 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4, 5, right? So we have a basic list right here. And then actually, I think it should be better demonstrated if we get rid of the catch and try first, and we just do, I think it will be much better, shown. So right now I have an list and an integer called my ints, and then if we print system.out.print line, if we print my ints 10, of course this will be a error because the index 10 does not occur within my ints. And if we run this, we see the error here. Exception in thread main. So what this means is that there was an error in the thread. So like process main, so function main, and then this is this is the error message. So java.lang array index out of bounds exception. So like this index is out of bounds of the actual indices contained in the array, and then index 10 out of bounds for length 4, Java test tutorial main, and then Java test line 7, right? So tutorial.java line 7. So that's pretty simple to understand. But what if, we don't want this red text to show up? Then we can add a try statement right here. Okay, and then we can add a catch statement, and then in the catch statement here, what we'll do is that we will use parentheses and type in exception, and then this exception keyword will help us, obtain the, something that happened, or the error here. And okay, and then exception, and then we'll just have a, I don't know, something random. So usually it's exception E, because it's just a sort of style or something. You can use anything here. You can use, I think, F. You can use anything, but I'm going to use E right now. And then we'll just print system dot out dot print line and say list index out of range. Please try again. Right. So what this is that it so let's really quickly change this. Is how you spell it? Again, no, it's not. Okay. So we run that. list index out of range, try again. As you can see here, there's no more red text and it shows my custom text. However, if I just type in list index 1, it'll just print 3 because there's no error here. But so what this code does is that when I run it, it first goes to this block of code, and then it sees that there's an error in this line, Java index, or no, sorry, Java array index out of bounds exception. So then it will jump to this catch line and then type or print list index out of range. Please try again, right? So this is pretty simple. This can be used in most code. So, for example, I'll just really quickly do a guess the number code, and then I'll see how this can be used in a real life situation, right? So for guess the number code, I think if you've watched my early videos, you should know how to do this. But really quickly, we need a scanner module so that we can get input, and then we create a scanner object. So scanner, and then in IMPT. So that stands for input. This can be any variable, whatever you want it to be, and then new scanner object. So then we have a scanner, that then we can just do system.print print line ribbon, please. Yes. And then the user will guess, and then we'll do int num equals scanner. Sorry. I think it was it was impt dot next int. So right here we have our guess the number code, and then we'll just have answer equals 50 just for the sake of today's purpose. Int. There we go. And then we'll just have a really quick if statement here. If num equals answer, then this here I'm gonna copy this system.out.println, I think. Correct. Okay, so this works. Of course, we run this. We enter our number, so it would be 50. It says correct. We enter something else. Oh nope, never mind. We enter something else, and then nothing happens. So I actually should do another statement here, an else statement, just in case. Okay, so I'm just gonna go like that real quick. Right, so this is a very basic guess the number code. It's not very optimized for user experience, but it will do. So let's say we guess 50, we get it correct. If we guess anything else, we get wrong, right? But then if we guessed a a string, we get huge block of error. So what do you have here? Input mismatch exception. So this is the part, this blue line right here, java.util. This is what you have to look at the most. It tells you, like, as you can see, it tells you the sort of error that happens. So then what you want to do is that we have an error. So we can put all this code in a try block. So yep, we can put all this code in a try block. Here we go. Oops. I think that's what it is here. Oh, yep, we have to insert catch exception E. And just please enter int. Right? This may work, I think. Please enter enter int. All right, so please guess, 50 correct. Okay, so all the functionality works, and if we do if we do string, there we go, please enter int, and then it doesn't crash the program. As you can see, there's no more error message. So again, this is try and try catch is for user optimization mostly. So for example, I hand this code over to someone that has no idea about what coding languages is or what Java is, and then he starts playing it, and then he accidentally enters a string, something, an error message pops up, and then he doesn't know what happens, right? So of course we can put this inside of a loop, right? So we can put a while done, so we can do a quick boolean done equals false, boolean done equals false, and then while done does not equal true. And then what we can do now is that we can just put this whole thing in a loop so that it'll just keep going and going. So let's say we get D, please enter in, please guess 40, and we can just keep doing this on and on. So like, and then if that, so we can just break the loop right there. So this is a pretty good code already. Like, there's catch and accept, there's wrong stuff. So of course we can make this even better by giving a random, but again, this is not a lesson on how to do a on how to do a random number guessing game. This is a lesson about trying to catch. So as an explanation of what this code does, it first puts this whole thing in a while loop, so it'll keep on going, and then it tries this block of code, so it tries to find an int that you enter. But if you don't enter an int, then it'll go over here, and then it'll print please enter int, so and then loop back over again, so that you can re-guess, and then guess again if it's wrong, and so on and so forth. So I will post this code in the comments. You can take a look at it if you want. Right, so what we're going to do next is that we're going to get rid of all this. So there we go. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to learn about the throw. So the throw and finally keyword. So first of all, the finally keyword allows you to execute code after the try catch. So usually if the try goes to the catch and the catch is finished, the code will terminate. But if you have a finally, it will do the finally regardless of the result. So the code won't care if your input is correct or if there's an error, it will just always do finally. So let's really quickly create another int real quick equals 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the thing is that for this, when you're doing this kind of stuff, you actually sort of like, you don't need to memorize the exceptions, but it's best if you memorize some of them, like out of bounds exception, value error, index error, zero division error, that kind of thing. So right now we have an out of bounds, whatever that thing is called. So yeah, and then we will put right. So we'll put a try right here. Okay, so put a try right here. Let's move this out for better formatting. Right, and then we'll have an catch. So catch exception. How do you spell it? There we go. Exception E, and then is that not how you spell it? Quick fix. There we go. And then catch, and then we go just to index out of list range, and then we can do finally. So finally, and then finally we can just do brackets, say system.out.println code code complete. Right. So now, no matter if I enter a random any index here, so like even if I enter a valid index, it will still print this finally. So first of all, this is I'm using an invalid index. So if we run that, we get list index out of range and then code complete. If we do a valid index, we get the output and code complete. So pretty simple, right? So to sum up, try and catch go together in a pair. Try it runs its code block until an error, then it goes over to catch. It runs catch, and with finally, it will print whatever is in the finally, regardless of the result. Last, we will do the throw keyword. So the throw keyword here basically will throw a proper Java exception. So for example, you can throw an arithmetic exception, file not found, array indexed out of bounds, security exception, zero division error, that kind of thing. So for this one, we'll need some more functions actually. So that's cool. And then we'll have a first function, static void. We'll call it age, int age. And then parameters int age. Perfect. And then we'll go if age larger than 18. Actually, yeah, if age larger than 18, if age is smaller than 18, then we throw, and then we create a new object of arithmetic exception. And then what we can do is that we can do our own custom exception now. So you cannot get a driver's license. Okay, again, this is extremely fictional. I believe you can get a driver's license at the age of 16, whatever. Um, make believe, right? And then we can do else statement. You are old enough to drive. There we go. So then we can run this really quickly. So by creating a public static void main string args. There you go, and then we'll do system.out.println age. And then if we do age of 15, then if we run that, what happened here? What is this one? Unresolved compilation problem. Okay. Yep, I see what went wrong. Yeah, I cannot do a print line for an outsider function, especially if I don't have public. So all I need to do is to do age 15. Should be better. There we go. And it is red, however, it is custom. So it says here that you cannot get a driver's license. So first, it throws an arithmetic exception, then it gives custom printout. So we can also do something else that's completely unrelated. So we can do zero. I think it's called zero division error. No, it's not called. Nope. Okay. Then we can just do file not found exception. File not found exception. Does this work? Or do I have to do? There we go. I think it's this one. No, it's not this one. So I guess it has to be. Can we do value error? Okay, so I guess you can only do arithmetic. What do you call it? Arithmetic exception. But anyway, just playing around with some Java stuff there. So yeah, this does work completely fine. If we do an age of 50, it says you're old enough to drive. If we do an age of 15 or 14, we get an exception that we have customly made, and then you cannot get a driver's license, which is again a custom printout. So I hope this wraps up today's tutorial. Again, I'm going to post all the code in the description below. I actually am just going to post the code about the number guessing game because I feel like it's the one code that gives the whole feel of everything. And then, sorry, I have to do one last thing here. It's in inpt.close. This is not mandatory, but it's just good to have it. Okay, not supposed to be in there. Not supposed to be in there. Where it's supposed to go? I think it's supposed to go out here. Yeah, no. Npt. This is better, is it? No. Whatever, but anyway, let's see here. Let's check the quick fixes. Do I have to do it? Okay. I feel like okay. Okay. So that goes there. Nope. Whatever. Anyway, I'm going to post this code in the description below so that you guys can take a look at how try, catch, that kind of thing works. And then for the sake of example, I'm also going to throw in a finally. So first of all, there we go, and then finally system good job. All right, and then this should work. So if we get this correct, good job, perfect. So yeah, I know this video was a bit confusing or messed up in organization, but I hope it helped in somewhat. So to recap, try runs the block of code. If there's an error, goes to catch, runs whatever you want in catch, then it will go to finally, regardless of what happened in the before code, and the throw command will throw a proper Java exception with custom error. So there you have it. I really hope you guys learned something, and yeah, have a good day.